And we're surprising you today with a very special Wednesday show. Yes, we don't usually do this, but we're doing this very special Wednesday show, Alien DNA with ASRIA, this week because she was in such demand on Sunday, she sold out during the show. And because many of my clients have been saying this week, how do I get a reading with ASRIA? How do I do it? How do I get my alien DNA? So for this week only, we're doing this special Wednesday show so you can get a chance because to get your alien DNA for Sunday. What happened is that because she was in such demand for this week, ASRIA already sent all the people that bought the alien DNA via email. And because, like I said, she was in such demand, we decided to do the special live show on Wednesday so we could get 10 more people to get the opportunity to get their, like a mini alien DNA reading for Sunday. So that's why we're doing this special show today. So ASRIA, I'm going to give you the reins because it's your show. Take it away. What is it that you want to talk about? First of all, we're not going to be on long today. We're just going to talk about the basics, but we just wanted to present this show, talk about the benefits of getting this done, how it helps, and then get the opportunity for you guys to order your DNA for Sunday, which is underneath in the description of the show. If you go underneath it, you click on the link. I put a special link in, you fill out your information, and then you tune in on Sunday and you get your alien DNA done. But ASRIA, what is it? How does this help people? What is it that you wanted to talk about today? Specifically, the benefits of getting your alien DNA done and how it helps you.
Yeah, no, thank you so much, everyone. I'm absolutely blown away. The fact that, as I said, it all got sold out. And I thought, well, let's, the people who bought it on Sunday have already got all their results and been emailed that across. So I thought it's still got a week to go. So Dee very kindly said, let's just do another show to give more people the opportunity. So please do, I said, go down to the Buy Me a Coffee, and then that will be presented on our Sunday show, which will be fantastic. But in answer to Dee's question, which I think there was a couple of questions in our last show as to how and what basically what's in it for me? How does this affect me? How is it? And that they are very, very good questions. And I can only really go on what my clients have said. So what happens when I actually conduct this is around using a particular tool. So I go into a meditative state, so ensuring that my energies are well aligned. Then with your approval, and that is key, I will ask for your full name at birth and date of birth to know who exactly I'm going to tune in to. Okay. And then within your Merkaba, your toroidal field, that energy that goes around you, I kind of go in there and see me kind of like as a radio. So what I do, and very like maybe show my age here, but like an old-fashioned radio where like you turn the tuner, and it would kind of go in between the different frequencies, the different radio stations, until you find the one you want. I mean, in the UK, it's like capital or heart or whatever the case may be. But for me, it's when I then find and focus in on that strongest vibration that I'm getting, that strongest frequency that I'm getting, sorry, not vibration, frequency. And with that frequency, I have like a 3-stage confirmation just to make sure that that's exactly the one I think it is. So I get a feeling within myself. So there was about 25 different beings. And now I said that number over the 5 years that I've been doing this has been going up and up and up and up and up. And then I then look at my unifier. Apologies, I don't have it to hand. So it's this gorgeous selenite crystal. on a copper chain. And over time, I've realized the different movements of that gives me, again, that's my second confirmation, because I know if it moves in a certain way, that's a particular frequency in a particular being. And then the third is one of my guys stands forward. So they're known collectively as the masters or the scholars. And they're called upon throughout the universes, throughout the galaxies, for their information. So they're like us, we're always learning and teaching. So one of them will step forward depending on that frequency. So that is really how it works. And then by that confirmation, I then ask if there's a particular message. I also then might get further, we might call them downloads. So pulling that information from your rays of intention. So one of the examples I gave the other day on the show is more around the history. A little bit, say like past life almost, but I'm not going to go down that road too much, because the main point, which I will get to Lady D's question in a second, but I just wanted to explain to maybe some of our viewers who may not be aware of what I do. So once we've established what that dominant frequency, or that dominant DNA frequency is within you, nobody else, within you, that is the most active right here, right now on this planet. And then I feed that information back to you. It then also comes with a little bit of more information around the abilities of that being, the behaviors of that being. It might come through, as I said, with one or two various messages directly for yourself. Sometimes that happens, or most of the times that happens. But for you as an individual, from what my clients have said, and I know when I first started working with them myself, is it's always that aha moment. Because then you start to pick up on, actually, those behaviors and those abilities, I have them. I know them. And then a lot of things start falling into place around how, like, for an example, I had a chap the other day who, dare I say the word reptilian, there was a little bit in there. And yeah, very much so. He was quite senior within the military. Made sense, because that's the way that the reptilian mind works. Another one is we've had, and I know this was the same with Dee as well, a mermaid. But we could look at the mermaids from Sirius B, or we could look at the mermaids from Lemuria. But it was all about the voice. Obviously, I don't really have a good one today, but that's besides the point. That they were using their voice. And then it's, maybe I do have those abilities. Maybe I don't have those abilities. Well, what you can then do with that free will element, there's two things you can do. First of all, you can say, right, I have that frequency within me if it aligns with you. Just because I've told you, or somebody else has told you, or whatever the case may be, as long as it aligns with you and it feels right for you, you can then say, right, this does feel right to me. I want to start utilizing the ability of psychic. I want to start using more of the ability of clairvoyance, clairaudience, or a healing modality even. Or one lady the other day, and I think it might have been on the program on Sunday, where it was a lot to do with the different symbols and the different grid works. Because she was always drawing different patterns and never quite understood why. And now she's taken that a step further because she's linked in with that frequency as well. And that's all starting to make a lot more sense. And then the second thing I wanted to say is when people talk about their guides, their spirit guides, some people may know them, some people may not, some people might want to have that further contact. I mean, you're not going to necessarily have an open conversation. But again, if that feels right with the beings that have come through for you, well, after obviously I've told you which ones they are, and that feels right for you, by that free will element, you can then say, I would like to start working with you more. I would like to start connecting with you more. Because all beings won't necessarily come forward and automatically start helping and doing what they do. Because while we're down here, we do have that portion of free will. But if we have a connection here, within that connection, within our energy field, once that's made, wonders can happen. And that's all a part of the journey. I'm not saying it's the only part and the biggest part, but it's certainly helping towards that ascension. It's certainly helping towards that activation. Because as many people are saying now, it's not that you're getting anyone else to activate you. You're doing it yourself. We're now at that higher stage. We're now at that higher frequency. And as I said, I'm going to sound like a broken record now, I'm sorry, but with that free will element, we can say that aligns with me. I want to start working with it. That is the activation. That is where we choose where we want to be. We choose where we want to go. We choose who we want to be connected to. So as I was saying, it's just that portion of the journey that will help make just that little help to make that initial connection. I mean, if you go onto the website, there's many other portions around that we look into, is to start that integration at a much higher level. But one of the reasons for that I felt so passionately to offer the level 1 readings here is to at least start that journey. And from the amazing feedback, and I thank every single person who I've read for on here so far for the wonderful, wonderful feedback that I've had. I'm assuming that it's all been very good and it's all very much aligned. And please do keep in contact with us as to how your journey is going. Because at the end of the day, it's your journey. I'm just feeding that part of the information. Well, my scholars are through me, because as I said, I'm the radio. I'm just telling the story. I hope that answers the question, Dee.
I had to take myself off mute. I always do that. I always start talking when I'm still on mute. Yes, it does. It absolutely does. And I know personally how it's changed my life. Like I said, I never even, to tell you the truth, I never really gave it a second thought until I started watching you on other channels. And then, when I had you and Bev and the crew on, and when you did that surprise, I don't know, it was like a couple of months ago, I think, maybe 2 months ago. Boy, time is flying. And you did that surprise for me. And sorry, I have allergies, so my ears popping. If I keep on sniffling, I apologize. It's kind of overcast, so my ears popping. With this, it's just like I never even thought about it, to tell you the truth. And then when I was like, oh, when I watched you on other shows, I was like, that'd be interesting. And then when you surprised me and you told me I was mermaid and Andromedan, I mean, it made perfect sense. First of all, for all those who know, I'm a singer. I haven't sang front a band in a long time, but I used to front many bands. I used to sing, always singing. always in bands. I was in theater. So that's one thing. And, I can project. I have a loud voice, so I have no problem projecting. And I'm always in the water. I'm obsessed with the water. When I was a little girl, my mom used to have to get out of the water. I would be in the water. I grew up on the beach, always have to be near the ocean. When I lived on the west coast of the US and I was living first I lived in Colorado where there was no sea, and then I lived in Las Vegas, a desert. I was miserable. I have to be near the ocean. And my obsession with whales and great white sharks, obsessed with great white sharks. They fascinate me. And whales and dolphins and everything that's ocean, it made complete sense to me. And then, now I never ever thought I was an Andromedan. If anything, I would thought it was probably a Pleiadian, but I don't look like a Pleiadian. I don't have blonde hair and blue eyes, which is mostly the Pleiadian. So I really didn't know what I was. And then when I found out I was Andromedan, I was like, oh, this is very intriguing. And no lie, that very night after I got my DNA done with you on that show, I said, you know what? What the hell? I'm going to tune in. And I just asked him, I said, hey, I hear you're my star family. And I used the pendulum. I had and I had a different pendulum at the time because that was before I went to England to meet you. So I had a different pendulum. Since then, I use that blue pendulum that you gave me, which works really well. But I use a pendulum, and they came as soon as I asked them. They came, and it's them. I knew it was them because of the overwhelming feeling of love, and it's just a different energy.
Hmm.
And for me at the time, I was going through a really, really particular bad situation. I mean, I still am. It's only been 4 months since, you know, um, the ending of my marriage and the abandonment of my best friend the day after. And I'm still in the midst of grieving this. And I felt very, very alone at the time because, most of us don't have a lot of people around us because we're the black sheeps. People don't really understand us. They think we're weird. They think we're nutty. They think we're loopy and really woo woo, right? Because of what we talk about. So let's just say that, we're an acquired taste, people like us. Unless you're like us, people think we're nuts. So to say that I hibernate is an understatement. And especially because I do a lot of readings. And when you read, and you can attest to this, Azria, you
Yeah.
kind of have to hibernate and not be around a lot of energies because it becomes like a bombardment. So with all that, I've been I felt really alone. And I will have to say that getting in touch with my star family and communicating with them made me feel less alone. They're there for you. They might not completely understand you because they're on another frequency and they're in another dimension, but they do make you feel less alone. I'm going to cry right now.
Oh, bless you, Annie.
But they're there for you. And like I said, even though they don't understand human emotions because they're on another frequency, they still have, I will say, I'm going to say in all honesty, more compassion than most human beings. They have more compassion and love for you than most human beings. And they don't even understand the sadness and the tears that I'm crying and the heartache and the feeling of loneliness. They don't understand those feelings firsthand because they don't feel them. But I will tell you, they make you feel like you are loved, you are worthy, you are appreciated, and they will make you feel damn better than any human being on this earth. That's
Hmm.
my interpretation and my feeling. Other than, your friends like you, Azria, and your real close peeps, and of course your connection with Yeshua or your guides. The love that I felt from them is like when when I talked to God, our creator, and when I talked to Yeshua, Jesus. It's that it's the same type of frequency, but different. And everyone knows, you guys have seen when I go fairy hunting, and a couple of times that I've gone in the forest and I've asked to speak to Adamundan, who is my hybrid Drummond child. He comes. You see the blue orb, he comes to me. And that feeling of having that connection, especially to fifth dimensional beings who you say, You know, they have other better things to do. What do they care about me and my stupid life? You know, they're on this beautiful planet and a beautiful dimension. They don't have the cares and the worries, but they do care. They care more than you know. And they love us and they want to support us. And like I said, even though they've never walked 1,000 miles in our moccasin, or they've never walked in our footsteps. They don't have that hard, dense energy that we have here on Earth with the 3D, and they don't have the constrictions of time and space. They adore us. They absolutely adore us. And they want to help us. And like Azria said, they're not going to just like instill their free will on you. You have to ask them to come. It's just like inviting somebody over. You know, they're not going to come unannounced. They're not just going to barge in and say, "Hey, I'm your alien DNA family." You know, first of all, maybe they might freak you out and scare the crap out of you. But second of all, it's something that you have to initiate. There, like you said, there's free will. But if you invite them into your life, if you invite them for guidance, if you invite them for help, they're there. They're really there. So, Azria, can you give any specific, or maybe not some specific instances where you've asked your star family for help and they've been there for you?
Oh God, I mean, we would probably have a 2-3 hour show, if that was the case. But 100%. I mean, I was just having a conversation with a wonderful lady before this show, and that is the key, is asking and having, as you said, having that feeling, having that trust. The one for me, which really cemented it. I'm just trying to think of one where I actually asked for help. It was when I was in a very, very sticky situation with Sam, my ex-husband. And it was at a time when, unfortunately, there was a lot of demonic stuff going on, and I had to get out of the house very, very quickly. And to this day, between when I was lying in my bed and when I was in the car, I think I flew. And it was, "I'm in danger. I do not like this. Get me out." I've had times, but then on another time, on a birthday, quite a significant birthday last year, I was asking for further clarity and confirmation of the journey going forward, or my journey going forward, and my connection going forward. And if some of you have seen on sort of my socials, there's a picture when I'm standing on a beach of an evening, and it was right on my birthday. And I do get welled up about this as well. And some of you may have heard this. And I was actually on a little bit of a retreat. There was only about 6 or 7 of us, and they knew it was my birthday. And I said, the one thing I'd like to do is go down to the beach in the evening. They had 1 or 2 small surprises after that, which was beautiful. They're amazing women. And I looked up, look up at the moon as you do. I went for a paddle, you know, we just putting your feet in the sea. And everything around me stopped. I mean, there was like cars further back that you could just about hear. But at that point, I couldn't hear anything. It was even like the waves had stopped. And like everything had frozen. And a ship appeared over the moon, and the moon was yellow, absolutely bright. It was like the sun, but I was like, no, this is 10-11 o'clock at night. I think the sun is gone to bed. And that was my sign, because they appeared literally, it was about 10, I think it was about 10 o'clock. I don't know if it was for a minute, I don't know if it was for seconds or what it was. But when I asked for that particular clarification and to say, are you there? Oh boy, they showed me they were there. they really showed me they were there. I can feel it in my arm right now. And they're always there. And I remember another time when I was, again, overseas when I was a lot younger. And things were really not good family-wise, but we'd gone away for a holiday. Because, again, my birthday's in August. So we were luckily away in Europe somewhere. And things were not really good with parents and things. You know how it is. And I was quite young at the time. And I remember it wasn't at night. So obviously I was very young. But I remember being in the beach. It must have been Spain or somewhere, I'm sure. And it was a very, very similar scenario. But this time, it wasn't looking up at the sun, because obviously that might be a bit tricky. But there was a mountain range to one side. And I just remember this long square box just appeared a few seconds and then went again. And then after that, I felt safe and I enjoyed the rest of my holiday. Well, enjoyed was a bit of a stretch, but I thought things are going to be okay. So following on from what Dee was saying is that when you need, or when that feeling comes over you, and this is why I want to go back to the point of when anyone can save me, or to say, oh, you're this, you're that, you have this, you have that. Stop for a second. How does that feel? Because I'm telling you, that time when I was standing on that beach, even thinking about it now, I'm getting that feeling back. Because that's all I ever have to do.
Wow. That's beautiful. It is. It's beautiful. I know it's very emotional. It is. It's very emotional because you feel alone and they're there for you. And it's like you say to yourself, there's human beings on this earth that are right next door that could pick up the phone and they're not there for me. But these people are in another dimension and they have to bend space and time, and yet they do this for me. So it's like that feeling of love is just overwhelming. And I think too, it's that they don't see our faults. They don't judge where we are, and they don't see our faults. They see our souls. They see our spirit. They see our potential, and they see who we are beyond all the layers of debris, that's like foisted upon us, right? I mean, the world is foisted upon us, like the label, you're not good enough, you need this, you need that. And it's just like they just accept you for who you are. It's an unconditional love. It's beautiful. So it is very emotional. No shit, Sherlock, but I love that.
Oh, my
yeah. I love that screen name. Yep.
Wonderful. Brilliant.
It is. It is. And it's just, the feeling is just unbelievable. That's right, Peyton. Hi, Peyton. Hello, Lady D and ASRIA. Beautiful stories. It is tough being here without our soul team. Yep. Yep, it is. It is, Peyton, to say the least. It really is. Some people have the ability some people are lucky enough. Good to see you, Peyton. Some people are lucky enough to have their soul family be part of their DNA blood family, but not so much here. Not so much here. It's like we have to go online and talk to strangers to get the emotional support and love and acceptance that we need. But hey, we have to look at the glass half full, right? At least we have each other, even though we're not next door. Sometimes I call Asria and I on the phone. I'm like, Asria, like today was a tough day. And Asria kind of picked up the phone and talked me off the ledge. And just sometimes she's like, I just wish I could create a portal so we could come over and have tea.
Have a cup of tea, because trust me, I'd prefer to be in Boston. That'd be really, really lovely. But one day,
All right,
it will
portal
happen one
here.
day, I can assure you. But
Yes, I'll
yeah,
create
coming
the
over and have
portal
a
and
nice
bring
cup
you
of
here.
tea.
That's right.
Cup of tea and a biscuit.
Oh, I like this spotty purple panther. I like
Ooh.
that. I like that. I like hello singer la 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 Lady D.
That's wonderful.
I
That's
like that
absolutely
la la
wonderful.
la Lady D. That's funny. I like I like purple and you are the pink. You're the pink panther.
Yeah, can't really see, but yeah.
You can see in the hair. So yeah, so we're not going to do a long show today. We just really wanted to talk about the fact that yes, Azria is in demand. So we decided to do a second round. She already did.
Mm.
She took on 10 people on Sunday, which was only a few days ago, and she was so in demand that she decided, you know what, I'm going to do these and send them via email. And why don't we do another one so we have a whole new batch of people for the 10th? And I will tell you, as of right now, there's only 8 left. So you already sold 8. Let me make sure. Oops, 7. So there's already 7 left. So we've already sold 3. So if you want to make sure that you get in for this Sunday, what's this Sunday, the 6th.
The
I can't believe it's the 6th. I just can't believe it. Okay, all right, I just can't. Anyway, if you want to get your alien DNA done for Sunday the 6th, make sure you get it in right away because they go quick. As you can see, last Sunday we were sold out by the end of we went on for like 2 hours. We were sold out by the end. We haven't even been on. We've been on maybe a half hour. Yeah, a little over half hour. She's already sold 3. So in the description of the show underneath us, you will see a link if you want to purchase one. Also, if you want to get in touch with Asria, her website is there, Ascension Through Connection. Her YouTube channel, if you have not subscribed to her YouTube channel, Buy Me a Coffee, all of my info is all there. It is just it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. And I'm looking at the chat. Oh, it's okay. Let's see. You don't even know. Hi, Lady D. I don't even know my real DNA. Was adopted and my parents are gone. It was never close. Never got the love and support needed. I'm so sorry to hear that, Terry, Dominique. Some of us that even know who our parents are and were brought up don't get the love and support that we need. So just because you're adopted doesn't mean there's anything wrong with you or
No,
I don't
I'm
know.
sorry to hear that, Terry. But I think yeah, it was Terry. Sorry, beg your pardon. With the frequency DNA, and thank you so much for bringing up that comment. And I'm so sorry that you don't know the real parents. Sorry, got a croaky voice. Excuse
Sorry, Terry.
me. That, and I really hope that you have found the love and the support that you needed. But it does bring up a really, really good point, is when we're talking about our physical, our meat sack DNA, as it were, and our frequency DNA. So our frequency DNA has been collected through all of our lifetimes. And the wonderful Peyton, who was on here, does some amazing work with that as well, with past lives and things. But when we're looking at frequencies, it's all of those frequencies that we've been picking up through those lifetimes, all of those beings that we've been connected with, and all of those beings that we've been ourselves. So when we were first created by Source, or whoever you believe that is or was, it's all been captured within that energy field. And what I'm doing is going in and finding out for this particular reading, which is the strongest and the dominant at this moment in time. Through other levels and stages, which is on the website later, is then we then start listing more and more. We also then go into, as I was alluding to before, is picking up on some of those histories, because we're pulling down that information to see where are those connections. So as much as our meat bodies do have that DNA, and it is very important. Absolutely. I've only recently found out my sort of DNA, if you like, of the physical one. And it was an incredible experience. Really incredible experience. Found out it was more Irish and a little bit of Scots in there. So definitely the Celts were a big thing. Some from Switzerland, and so on and so forth. But this is what is in us, in our soul, in our being, what makes us as who we are now up. And what are those abilities that we can start pulling on? So, for example, I know, like with the meat sack, when I was saying, like, say, from Switzerland, yeah, I mean, my natural color is blonde and I have blue eyes, so that kind of gives that away slightly. And we are starting to pull out some of the physical characteristics of the beings as well through the DNA frequency. But I think that's maybe another call for another show, because that's proving to be very interesting discoveries that we're starting to make. But certainly, I do believe that the frequency DNA is something you can, and I know from the stories that I've been sharing about other clients, that you then can start asking and pulling on those energies, pulling on those frequencies to say, this is what I want to do. This is the type of healing. These are the psychic gifts. These are the connections, especially like with the elementals, because then those frequencies are there. So when you walk in the forest, your connection's already halfway there. So thank you very much, Terry, and I really do hope that you have found some more of that love and support that you truly deserve.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough, Terry. It really is. It is tough. Oh, thank you, Peyton. Says, I'm really happy to be connected with you both, even though we're not met in person yet. Yet. I'm grateful for you all. You guys rock. Thank you. Likewise, Peyton. Likewise, you're beautiful. Beautiful. I got in early last week, like shite off a shovel.
Oh, I love your sayings. They're fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
You're still figuring out your gifts, Scott. Well, everyone has them. My advice to you, whether or not you're asking for it, I'm going to give it to you since you put it in the chat, as to how to figure out your gifts. What is it that you're interested in? Because I will say that your gifts are very much tied to your passions. What do you love to do? Your gifts aren't going to be something that you hate. Your gifts aren't going to be tied to something that's boring or disinterested, that disinterests you. Your gifts are going to be tied to what you love to do. What are you interested in? What is it that you research? What is it that you do when no one's looking, or you would do even if you didn't make money, right, ASRIA?
Yep, I would absolutely agree. And I'm just seeing Scott was saying that I hear voices, things that are not human. So absolutely, I'm assuming there that there will be some clairvoyance, some clairaudience, and maybe some clairsentience there. But one of the things that I'm getting really strongly through for Scott, again, sorry for asking about this, but don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. And when you're saying, I haven't figured it out yet, that is putting up a block. Sorry, we've kind of slightly gone off topic, but I think this is really key for yourself, Scott, and maybe a few of our listeners, if that's okay, Dee.
Yeah, go for it.
Is when we say we don't know, or I'm trying, or I should, you're kind of putting up a block, because it's kind of like, who says should? Who says you're trying? You're just doing. It's kind of like, oh, I'm trying to lose weight. No, you're not trying to lose weight. You are. You're telling your body that's what you're doing. So if you're, I hear voices and feel things that aren't human, I would be a little bit careful around that. And this isn't what I'm getting through. This is just a more of an observation. Is that, again, if it's not human, just be very aware of your own protections. That if what you're getting through is either it is not too negative. So I'm keeping an eye on the comments there as well. But don't overthink it. I think that is absolutely key. Quieter the mind, the louder the voices. So if you start quieting it down, because a lot of the time it's a bit like a post box. Somebody very wise told me once. So it's not as though you're looking for this full-on blown conversation. And maybe just focus in on one of those at a time. Maybe one day, look at the energies around you. Maybe the week later, tune in to more of those voices and see which of those feels right and feels better for you. What do you feel more comfortable with? What do you feel more strongly in doing? It might take a week, it might take a year. Doesn't matter. Who's counting?
Right.
Hope that helps.
I agree. You make sure you protect yourself. And if you're hearing voices and you feel things around you that aren't human, just like in your regular home, would you allow strangers in your home? You say, who are you? Identify yourself. Let me know who you are. And if they don't identify themselves and they don't know who you are, you need to, because we have to understand too that there's a lot of trickster spirits. Okay, there's a lot of trickster spirits and those that can mask like your loved ones or angels or people that you know. So you ask them who they are, and they have to identify themselves to you. Now, can they lie to you? Yes, that's what a trickster spirit is. But how do you know whether they're benevolent or evil? If they're benevolent or kind or not? How do they make you feel? Do you feel calm around them? Do they bring up your vibration? Do you feel happy? Or do you get anxious? Do you get a little scared? Are they telling you positive things? How is their voice? Are they telling you happy things or positive things? If they're telling you to do harm or if they're telling you negative things, then you know they're negative. You have to go by your intuition. You have to go by how they make you feel. And the proof is in the pudding, right? Just like you'll know that something is benevolent and kind and loving by the way it makes you feel. Just like if you hear something positive or negative from somebody that would be next to you. Just like you could be sitting in a movie theater, right? How does the person to the left of you and the person to the right to you make you feel? That's your intuition. Now, if they're saying positive things, then there you go. Then, but I still would use your protection and make sure they identify themselves. Just like
absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. Just say, I command to know who you truly are. And then, or again, something that I was told many years ago that has helped me on so many occasions. Following on from what Dee was saying, if you're feeling not too sure, you do not belong here. You are not welcome. Fuck off.
Yeah, exactly.
And then you put those barriers up. And yes, sage works. Absolutely. But also remember your salt on the doorstep and things like that as well. You can also use sound. Sage isn't always the be all and end all. So make sure that you're keeping that as a routine, making sure that you are using sound and other methods as well. Kind of mix it up a bit. It's kind of like, when you, maybe I shouldn't be saying this, but use the same fly spray all the time and then the flies go, yeah, funny.
They get immune
don't
to
need
it.
that. That's fine. That just smells funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can use the command. You can use the Foxtrot Oscar. There's so many other protection things we can mention, but as Dee was saying, always check in first. If it doesn't feel right or you're unsure, even that tiniest bit, bye-bye.
Yep. No, Lulu Bell, I don't think she said the F word. I think she said something else, but I probably listen, I've been known to drop the F bomb.
I think that's the first time I've said it on.
Did you say it? Oh, if you did, it's all good. I say it all the time.
Yes, I did. Wow. Must be a bad day. Thanks, Lena Bell. Yes.
Okay, yeah. Oh, you did. I love it. Good for you. It's usually, hey, it's better you than me. Usually it's me. I thought she said fluff, a foxtrot.
It's
Who
not
knows?
often. It's not often.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
my point is that you have to say it with fierce. Because remember, your words have energy.
Yeah.
So as much as, say, laughter has that wonderful clearing, cleansing, you then have, well, and I'm not going to say it again. You're trying to get me to say it again, but I'm not going to say it again. Okay. So then you do Foxtrot Oscar. And it's the power in which you say it and the intention. So again, when you're lighting the sage around the room, don't just light it and go, oh yeah, this is clearing. This is clearing. Get your guides in, set the intention, do it front to back, go out the door. Thank you very much. It's the intention and it's the power behind these things.
What the fluff, Lula Bell.
I'll try that next time.
Not me. I just say it. I'm a bad one. Oh, okay. So I just checked. ASRIA has only 6 left. So if you want to get in for Sunday, make sure you get in, or you'll be fluffed off. You'll be shite out of luck. You'll be shite out of luck.
That's good. Yeah, Scott brings in his spirit team. That's good. Wonderful.
That's good. That's good. All right, this is too much fun. Hello, everybody. We get more and more people. Well, we've been on for about 45 minutes. What else do you want to say before we end the show, ASRIA? Any last words of wisdom? We weren't going to be on long. We just wanted to do a quick...
No, not at all. Not at all. No, that's fine. Just wanted to say thank you so much for yeah, I know this is a bit of a one-off show, so just thank you guys for tuning in, and yeah, for all the buy me a coffees and all the questions and queries that I've had, and I really hope that this is resonating with everyone, and that it's the information that we're sharing and passing on here is aligning with you and resonating with you, and yeah, just absolutely remember your protections. And also we've got was it a new moon, I think, coming up in the next few days, so please go outside, be looking up. Quite a few of my clients are saying they're randomly waking up at 3-4 o'clock in the morning. Go outside and look up. They're around, they're watching. There's so much happening on this planet at the moment. There's meteors hitting in the US, there's volcanoes, there's so much energetic movement that I'm sure there's more of them in our atmosphere. I've got 1 or 2 videos of the other night as well. So if you feel it, look up. Yeah. See what's there. But no, just thank you everyone, and lots of love.
That's awesome. A few weeks ago, I got up to use the loo. Okay, I'm turning British. And something told me to look outside. And when I looked outside, looked out my window, a ship went past. I saw a ship. About 4 nights ago, I'm on the phone with my friend. I'm on the phone, and something, I don't go out every night and look up, but I do periodically go and look up, because we know they're in they're in our atmosphere, right? And they want to show themselves to us. They're surrounding us, because what's going on with the earth, with the changes, with the disclosure that's impending and our ascension, they are all around us. And so I was on the phone with my friend, and I went outside, and I'm talking to her, and all of a sudden, across the sky. And then I said, is that really? And I swear to God, I don't know how they do it, but they know you're watching them. They're like thousands and thousands of miles away, but they know you're watching them. Because I'm on the phone with my friend Viviana. I'm like, oh my God. She's like, what? I'm like, there's a ship in the sky going across my sky. And as soon as I said, I can't believe it. Is it really a ship? It blew up. It blinked, blink, blink, like 2 big bursts. And then, whoosh, gone. I was like, wow, wow. Yeah, that was yeah, we're here, we're here, and bye. We're out. We're here and we're
Well,
out.
yeah, maybe I'll pick out some footage on one of the shows, and we can put it up as well. But it I don't know how they always know when we're watching, how we're watching. So that's why if you wake up, especially around those times, look up again. But it can happen in the day as well. I'm also getting with a few people in the chat, and I'm not getting names. You're starting to look at cloud formations. Fantastic, because remember, they can move matter. So those faces that you're seeing, those dragons that you're seeing, I don't know who exactly it is, but I was just asked to tell you.
So they do that to the cloud formations, huh? They move the clouds as well. Oh, I did not know that.
I've got a couple of pictures up in one of the shows.
Yeah, you're gonna have to. You're gonna have to bring up some footage and whatever. No, I did not follow them back to Eastbourne. I should have said, hey, hello, can you come pick me up, zoom me up, beam me up, and give me a ride?
Yeah.
Lula Bell.
I'm coming home.
I'm coming home. I love the UK. Yeah, you guys are great. Yes, with the clouds. It's resonating with everyone with the clouds. Awesome. All right. Well, again, there was only 6 left. I'm sorry if you can hear fire, this sirens and everything. They're going by and I'm right down the street. Okay, it's like really loud. Sorry. I live right down the street from a fire station. So anyway, so if you want to get your alien DNA done live from ASRIA this coming Sunday, make sure underneath the description of the show, make sure you click that link. I have it all set. And yeah, you can get your alien DNA for Sunday. I do have a psychic live tomorrow night on this channel, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I know that's late for those in the UK because it's in the middle of the night. I get it. I get it. I'll do earlier ones for you all. But my folks here in the US on the East Coast especially are used to my 8 o'clock show. However, I might be going on tonight too. I might do a surprise live, a surprise wink, wink, because of what's going on with the diddler. Everyone heard about the Diddy case, and I know if you're like me, we're all bullshite. Is a bunch of shite. It is awful. So I might be just doing a live on that. And it will be a little early. So just tune in to my channel. If you've already subscribed to my channel, which you probably have because you're in the chat, just look out for the notification. And yeah, now we have July 4th on Friday. Believe it or not, it's July 4th, ASRIA. The big Independence Day in the US. So we'll see if we have some big announcements. We really need some good announcements in the US. We really do.
Oh, with everything going on, absolutely. So everyone, just send all those good vibes, especially on that day. Definitely.
Yep, absolutely. All right. Well, ASRIA and I appreciate you all. We love you all. This has been great. So until then, you guys, we love you. You're awesome. Just know that. And enjoy the rest of your day. I'll see you tomorrow and I'll see you later on tonight. Bye. And get them in because you'll be out of luck. All right, folks. See you later. Bye.